Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great, thank you. And you?
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. It's really weird because I've just got notification on my iPad to watch Cam Johal live. How good is that? That's what I was looking over. I thought, what's that? Just flashed up. That's surreal. So, how's your bank holiday?
Great. Busy. Productive,
We
let's
spent
say.
most of it together, didn't we? Did we have 4 appointments yesterday or 5?
5 appointments yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, yes. That was the funny thing was, Mateus, it was like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So there's no respite, was there? They were like every 2 hours.
They gave a break of 1 hour more or less each.
Yeah, they did. But it's a great trading day, huh? So guys, we weren't on yesterday because we think, you know what, bank holidays should be quiet. But it was anything but a quiet day. The signal service doesn't really shut down very often. So that was fully in swing yesterday. We had a great trading day yesterday. So let me just recap for you. And if you're on Telegram with us, there's some lovely graphs that you should be looking at that were put up. So yesterday was 21 trades, 20 winning trades, 1 losing trade, 94%. So strong start to the week, especially considering it was a bank holiday season session, where typically we expect reduced volume and slower conditions, despite that the market still provided solid opportunities, blah, 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 blah. So I traded yesterday along because I was in my office. So it wasn't great in terms of, didn't bag a huge percentage of money, but it was just nice to follow along because, as I just said, Mateus did 5 meetings yesterday and I did 4. Then we obviously have discussions and things in between, and we've got to live a life as well. So welcome if you've joined us for the first time. If you're on YouTube, if you could like and subscribe, that would really, really help us grow the audience and grow the channel. You know, we're doing this here to support our community, really. So again, if you don't know who we are, Trade with Cam is something that Mateus and I started just over a year ago after being in the industry for about 5 or 6 years. We felt there was a gap of real training.
We lost you, Cam. Having some technical issues, but we're still here, guys. I will get back on the signals.
Here he is.
We lost you, yeah.
Apologies, the camera just decided to disconnect itself. So we decided to do this. And by the way, we'll interrupt as soon as there's a signal or anything. We'll interrupt. And then, so just to fill you in, really. So we do this Monday to Thursday from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, and then Monday to Friday from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. The significance of that, if you don't know, is that London opens at 8 and New York opens at 1. So after 1 o'clock is probably the greatest volume of exchange trades going on, simply because both the biggest markets in the world are open. Gold's traded 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. So we're here for, what can we say, 4 hours a day, apart from on Friday. And the reason we chose not to do Fridays is because we think that the market's going to close in the evening. And, you know, at some point you should close out your trading as quickly as you can. If you don't want to hold over the weekend, I mean, the signals carry on till late into Friday. And sometimes there's a night signal to hold overnight. But obviously, you know, we're human beings and we think that, you know, that's enough. If there's more required, we'll do. Let us know in the comments, because we see those. What you're thinking, what you're doing, where you're joining us from, and how you're enjoying this, and how you want something different. You know, if there's something you think we're missing, then let us know. This is a part of this. It's an interactive situation that we've got here, because trading's live and it's very, very fast. So we've been here for, this is our 4th week, and we've got she's not joining us today, unfortunately, busy, but we've got a trader that's joined us literally on the Wednesday we started broadcasting, and she's been profitable every single day. So all I want to say to you is my own trading has improved immensely because of the focus. I'm here, I'm working, so I'm trading. I can do that at the same time, no issues at all. So Matthias, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. It's great to be here, because then you push yourself to have that discipline as well. It's like we getting more than we giving. I said last week, and I say that again, because it's helping others is massive, and is helping us even more, because we used to be we are together every day, but we never sat down and trade properly like we are doing now. We always trade, of course, but we never trade like sitting down and just trading, and that's helping a lot. And then we keep remind the discipline. We keep remind for everyone, and we remind for ourselves. That is powerful.
You still on, Matthias? Couldn't quite hear you there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's just do a recap then of the market. So if you're on TradingView, you'll be able to follow this. So the day's buying, the range of the market's been from 4,513 to 4,554. Not a lot of movement for what we've been experiencing.
Do you want to share your screen, Cam?
Oh yes, of course. I'll do that for you. Okay, so the range for the day is here. So this is what it's been doing. So yesterday was a massive selling day. Today's a buying day. Often does that, buy, sell, because it rebounds. And there's always corrections in the market. So news headlines, gold seeks direction. So yeah, with the war, it's going everywhere, but it's up, 0.68% on in the session. So 4,513, 4,554. Not a lot of movement that we've been experiencing lately. It's been huge in terms of how much movement we get on the daily basis, but this is where we're at, and that's where we are. So normally I start with the day session and look at, when I'm starting my trading, I want to see what the day is doing. And then I normally go onto the 1 hour. That's a good indication. So you can see that, what the hours have done. So, and I tend to look back to last night. So Monday, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, that was yesterday afternoon, obviously. And then towards the end of the day, what happened? So the market was selling in the morning and it was buying later on in the afternoon and evening. So that's market open at 11 o'clock. And then it's been buying since then. So we're in good company because institutional order flows are still indicating a bullish market. So after the 1 hour, I hopped between the 5 and the 1 minute. The 1 minute obviously is the time frame that our traders using. So it's a good place to be, because you want to be in the same place as where your trader is, right? Because then you can see the same picture as he's seeing, and that's where we get the signals off the back of that. So we've had a couple of really big wins this morning. So 7:24 there was a signal, 7:05 there was a signal, 6:53 there was a signal. So that's kind of where we are. 5:52 there was some updates, 5:25 there's a signal. So you could have been in and out of the market already. I haven't been trading this morning, trying to discipline myself to stay away from the screens first thing and actually do some exercise and do some meditation before I start my day. So that's a new education for me. Anything you have to add to that, Matthias, in terms of looking at the charts?
No, absolutely. You're spot on. We had a big drop yesterday, and today is rectifying that. We're going up. As you can see on the signals, we had plenty of TPs today already, TP3s as well. That is good to see. we are on the right direction. We have that twice or 3 times, and then a lot of GP1s. That's why it's important for you when you take place in the trades, protect your capital, book some profits, and move stop loss to break even, because we never know if all of them will go to TP3. It's impossible, and then you protect your capital. Okay, and let's see what the market still bringing us today. I still think it's going up.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matthias. I think it's going up. I don't know why I've got a blank screen. Okay, let me remove that. Technology is not quite functioning the way we want it to today. I'm just going to add that. I think I know. Morning, Petra. Great to have you. So it's so nice to see people in terms of, we had Petra join us yesterday. So she was trading yesterday, which is great because I saw that overnight. So it's great to see you. Hope you had some success. Let's follow the signals and, and get you really, really trading successfully. Because the aim of the game is this, and it was really interesting because we had, as I said, Matthias had a meeting separate to myself with a prospective new client. And the thing that we really got yesterday from the people that joined was that they're fed up of work in terms of it's not giving them what they want. And then they want to look for something that can actually replace their income, do this full time, which is music to my ears, because I think this is the best business in the world. And if you can get this thing to work, it's better than anything else that you'll ever find. And now that we've found our groove, if you like, we've found our one thing, Matthias, now we love doing this. We absolutely love here, right? If I could stay here all day, I would, right? And maybe one day we will. But absolutely love doing what we're doing, because supporting people, right, is absolutely the greatest gift, right? As Matthias said, we get more out of this than you guys do, right? Because it's so satisfying and it's brought us focus. So we're trading ourselves, we're making more money than we've ever done, we're more successful, and the ease with which we're doing it. It's taken me 4 weeks. This is the 4th week now. I was away for the first week, so that was quite hectic for us with time zones and everything else. So if you joined us then, you'd have seen some really strange things. And then I came back, obviously, I was away for about a month or so. And then the day I came back to do this, we've had contractors in the house, which obviously is an interference in terms of noise and bits and bobs. So today I feel like I've really got my groove, really prepped and ready to go. So it takes time to do things, right? So trust the process. And I say that all the time now to people, trust the process, it will be fine. So if you've not always been successful in trading, right, that doesn't mean you won't always be successful. We do things, we say strange things that embed really difficult situations into our head. I'm always doing that. No, you probably did it 2 or 3 times, right? I can't be a success in business. I started loads of businesses. How many? 2, right? The number of businesses I've started that I've never even traded them, right? Set everything up, never even did anything. That it's got to be in the hundreds now. The number of domain names I used to own and the amount of money I was paying for stuff that I wasn't using. But it's just ideas, right? So the first thing you do about your business is have the idea. So that's where I was with it all the time. So have the idea, right? Sometimes it'll come into something, sometimes it doesn't. So not everything you plant grows and flowers, right? Some of them are going to die. So you're here now. I believe that there isn't a better supported community. And if there is, that's brilliant, right? If other people are doing what we're doing and supporting traders as we are, that's fantastic. Find your one thing and do it. So we're going to have a profitable day today. But the way to have the profitable day is to set yourself up for one, right? Get ready, go to sleep on time, be rested, wake up, and then go to war, right? What I mean by go to war is I heard this phrase a few years ago in a movie, and the guy said, I go to war for my family every single day, right? So if you know anything about me, you know I read quite a lot. Art of War, Sun Tzu is one of my favorite business books. It was never meant to be. Maybe it was meant to be, but it's one of my favorite books. So going to war for your family, fantastic. Whether you do it for yourself, do it for somebody else, absolutely brilliant. So really glad that you've joined us. The audience is growing, which is really nice. And we now await for the first signal of our live session that we're doing today. So again, join us every morning at 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock. If you miss anything and you want some education, all of the stuff that we do is recorded and it's uploaded to YouTube live. So as soon as this finishes, it'll be a video that you can go back and watch. And I know you might say 2 hours is a long time to do whatever. Find your favorite bits, save them, record, or do whatever you want to do, right? Because within the 2 hours, I talk a lot of gibberish, but there are some things that I say that actually make some sense, right? And then that will help you in your trading journey. Rome wasn't built in a day. If you started with a small account, £500, £250, £1,000, it's not a lot of money in the greater scheme of things, right? So it'll take time to build. So be patient and think about your growth in percentages, not in money. Because a 3% day on £1,000 account is £30. That's nice if you go and buy a coffee with you and your friend for that kind of money, maybe a small lunch or something like that. But it's not really going to move the needle. But do the £30 for 10 days is £300. Do it for 20 days, it's £600, which is 20 days is one trading month. That's 60% a month. Right? That is about 15 times what that £1,000 is going to do in the bank over a year. And you keep doing that, stack that on top of one another, £1,500–1,600 first month, £2,000 the next month, £2,600 the next month, £3,000, so on and so on and so on and so on. Right? And then you've got an account that's, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. And that's your investment in your business. That's your money. I have no access to it. Mateus doesn't. The broker doesn't. Right? That's your investment. So somebody that reached out to me on LinkedIn this morning wants to get involved. What sort of investment is required? And my answer was, it's your business. You put in it whatever you like. Right?
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. So we invest. Every single month I put more money into my trading account because I'm at the growth phase and I want to get it to a certain figure, and then I will start enjoying the income of it. So a bit like going into your garden, making sure the soil's beautiful before you put your plant in, you buy the best seed, you nurture it, water it, etc., etc., etc. Then it gives you beautiful flowers like this little orchid in the background here, or it gives you beautiful fruit to enjoy, or it just gives you shade, right? So those are the things. And that process, by the way, I'm a farmer by birth, right? So every analogy that I have is farming one. Because the other thing is, farming is an honest business. You can't rush it, right? You can't make the tree grow any faster. Yes, you can with watering it, nurturing it, and sunshine, right? Certain things are out of your control. So it's not something that you can rush to. Same as getting fit in the gym. It's not something you can rush to, right? Getting your body into shape. It's not something you can rush to. Getting your mindset into place. You can't do it over a weekend. You've got to practice it every single day. And that's the same as making money. You've got to practice it every single day. Trade with discipline, right? Once your target's hit, 2%, 3%, 1%, shut up shop and go home. The number of traders that we have, especially after hours, some of you might be on here, that have had a great trading day and then give it all back to the market, right? It's not what you make, it's what you get to keep. So try and keep the money that you've made, and then it really stands you in good stead. So, those are the good habits that you need to develop around trading. Find a space where you're going to sit every morning or afternoon or evening. And if you're at work, and you can't trade these hours or you can't join us, by all means, watch the YouTube videos and reach out to me. Perhaps we could do a one-to-one. We're here to help you. So, and what we want to do is remove all the obstacles that you're facing to be able to trade. And the more of those obstacles that we can remove, the easier it will get for you. And then when it becomes easy, it's very easy to do. The other thing is, it should be something that you really enjoy. Because if you make it your hobby or your passion, or that's something that you look forward to, you're more likely to do it, right? So my gym closed at Christmas. It's a leisure center, so pool, jacuzzi, sauna, that kind of stuff. Gym. So 2-3 months before it closed, I started PT. Brilliant. Got into really good shape. It closed. I went and joined a new gym around the corner from my house. Absolutely beautiful, really, really nice. But no sauna, no steam, no jacuzzi, just the gym part, right? And then nothing else around it. So the other place was a hotel. I could go and do my meetings before and after my gym visit, and it was a daily ritual for me. I'd go take my bag for business, take my gym bag, go to the gym, have a coffee, meet people, do my meetings online, come home. 4, 5, 6 hours of my day. Beautiful. I can tell you that I have not been to my gym once, apart from paying the membership for the year. Right? I'm not saying I'm not proud of that. So I was asking myself, why am I doing that? Because it's really close to my house. It's because the motivation isn't there, because it's no sense of occasion. It's just walk in the gym, you have your kit on already, you walk out. Nobody really interacts with you. You don't really interact with anybody. It's a small gym. There's no more than 4 or 5 people there. Whereas the sauna, the steam rooms, and all those kind of places are very social places. And obviously you see people around in the hotel that are members of the gym. And so it becomes an occasion rather than have to do the gym part. Was easy. Doing the PT for an hour, fantastic. Because it's all a part of something. So now I'm thinking, okay, fine. I'll either wait because another 5, 6, 7 months before it opens, or I'll find a gym with a leisure. I found out what it was that was stopping me from going to this place. And by the way, like I said, I paid the year's membership up front. But the money isn't the thing. So you want to make this thing your one thing, right? So the great book, I recommend it to everybody. It's always here. We actually have 2 copies of this in the house. It's a book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. If you haven't got it, I suggest you get it. It brought me the focus that I'd never had in my other businesses, that I was always trying to chase something that didn't exist. And that was not the best place to be, right? So that's a little bit of mindset and things around it, because trading's easy. Pressing the button, yeah, you can teach a 3-year-old to do that. It's knowing when to press it, which direction to press it in, and when to get out is the bit, right? So get the market to serve you instead of you serving the market. I'm going to put my chart up. There's nothing happening in the market, so I'll just share that with you. There's nothing happening in the market, so we've got no signals at this moment in time. So we can talk about things. If you've got any questions, fire away, shoot them across, right? We'll get them. Shoot them to me directly. Let me just check my WhatsApp just in case any of you reached out on there.
And if you want to be here with us as well, let us know. We can send you a link.
Yeah. Good morning, Gerd. How you doing, buddy? He sent me a picture of me and Mateus on the screen on a massive TV. Great, that's lovely. Question on the copy trader, which I'll answer in a bit, in terms of what's going on there. So we've got some new stuff that we're doing. So whilst we're doing this, I'll update you on what Mateus and I are doing. Mateus and I are testing out 2 different systems that we are looking to deploy and help you with your trading. One is, it's a multi-million-dollar operation, and it's Signals by any other name. They're called trade cards. Matthias, you want to tell us more about it because you've been using those.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm using now. Just testing it, and it's just amazing. It's you can trade at any time. Like we are on the live now, we don't have signals. I'm placing some trades just to test the product as well. But yeah, you can keep refreshing that. If you're using the time frame 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour, it's up to you. You decide if you want to scalping, if you want to hold the trades more. But then on the 5 minutes, the way I'm using, every 5 minutes I can refresh. I will have a new signal, and then I will see the parameters. If it's green, if it's more than 70% probability, and see the entry points, then I go for it. You need to be quick if you go for 5 minutes, of course, because it's scalping, but it's reaching TP1 all the time. And then some of them, they will go for TP2, TP3, TP5 and plus. But the way I'm looking at it is to protect the capital, the stop loss. Always I put the stop loss and I go for the easy TPs. I'm closing profits all the time. It's just great to see something that working that simple as well to use. It's not complicated. You just need to keep pressing refresh button and you will have a new signal. It's amazing. I'm loving it so far. Let's see.
Okay, so we're going through the mechanics of setting that up and making those available. I reckon maybe next week, Matthias, sometime?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe next week we'll be able to introduce some of you to it. So we should get that set up hopefully for then, because we're really into that. And so it removes all human trading. And then what I was talking about, some of you that work and this 8 o'clock or whatever doesn't fit in with you, or you don't want to wait around for signals, you actually generate your own trade card. And so if you want to trade gold, you can press the button, generate it, and it will tell you the probability of success in that trade. So Matthias obviously knows a little bit more about it than I do because I've not used it. It's basically a division of labor. So we were approached a few months ago, we looked at it, and then we finally tasked Matthias with testing it. So I've been testing another tool which actually takes the trades that we are currently taking, and it automatically places the trade as soon as the signal comes in. So you can layer as deep as you like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have a preset TP, and you can so it goes to that. You do need to manage the trades. So you turn the system on and off when you're sat at your desk, and you do need to be around. So every time a signal comes, the trades will get taken for you, and then you need to manage them out. So there are, I believe, 1 or 2 glitches. Again, I gave the go ahead yesterday to send that system live. So hopefully the guys that are working with us in the team will action that. So again, over the next couple of weeks, certainly by the end of the month, we'll have a definitive yes or no. And then those are tools that help with our trading. We're doing this all of the time in terms of people are talking to us all the time about various systems and what's going on, right? So we test those, and a lot of them we say no to, right? That's my cue to leave. I've got one thing to do, so excuse me 1 second, and I'll silence myself.
But yes, guys, the system that we are testing is just amazing. It's like moments like now, we don't have any signals, we are on the live, and then we can carry on using signals, and you can generate your signal. That is the main thing. All the big institutions, they use those things, machine learnings, and we are just testing that for now, and it's working very well. But yeah, before we give you anything, we want to test by ourselves to see if it's worth to do that or not. And like Kern was saying, he has something else as well. It's the same signals that we are sending now with the gold signal. Instead, you to press the button to take the signal will be automatically taken for you with TPs and stop loss. You will need to manage that trade by yourself for now, but the hard work of entry points and all those things will be done for you. That is another thing that we testing as well. And right now I'm talking to you, looking down most of the time because I'm testing that and looking on my screen as well. And as you can see, today was a blue day for me, just using that product. Let me see if I can share you. As you can see, we'll have something like that. The entry points, stop loss is more or less like a signal, but the better solution on that, you generate your signal. The AI is generating that for you. But if you have time to trade, you can press the refresh button, and that will give you the probability of that trading. If it's more than 70, like I say, 70%, we have is 3 parameters we have. We have the direction confidence and the overall setup score, and then we have the machine learning score. If all of those are above 70, you can go for it. That will reach TP1 for sure, and most of the time is reaching TP2, TP3 as well. And then it's just a matter of you to find your way to place your trades with that, use that to help you, and that's it. And you just keep placing the trades. And we didn't have any more signals. The morning was amazing, like I said. If you start early morning today, we had great entries. And we had some updates from the signals from last signals from yesterday. Most of them went to TP3 plus. And when we do that, when you hold in some positions, we are on the buy and you holding positions to go up, the things you need to do is book partials. If you don't know how to do that, you can reach out to me. I can teach you how to book partials. Let's say you have 0 to 30 to enter the trade. You enter it 3 times and you want to keep some of those to the top. You need to decide before you enter the trade. You need to know how much you're willing to lose and how much you want to gain. That is the main thing. Before you press the button, you need to know all those questions. That is your trading plan. And if you know where to enter and how much you're willing to risk and how much you're willing to gain, that helps a lot, especially when you are a beginner. And MetaTrader 5 will help you because every time you change your lot size, and if you're not familiarized yet, you will see how much you're losing and how much you gain if you put TPs and stop loss. That's the main thing as well. And then I was talking about the runners. If you keep the runners, let me close that trade. It's going profit. I'm copying the signal from the bot, by the way, the machine learning. It's not signal from the group yet. And let's say you see all those pips, 200, 300, 200 pips, and then you see the runners, targets. We place the trades between 45.08, 45.13, and we reach TP3, 130 pips, 150 pips, and you want to keep some of that trade still running because you think that the market can go all the way up. That's great, but the only thing you need to do is book profits. If it's going to TP1, TP2, TP3, learn how to book profits, because we don't always go to 200, 300, 400 pips. The main thing, 90% of the signal is going to TP1. That means if you stick with booking profits, learn how to book profits on TP1, that will help you massively. And another thing we need to see, if you want to keep those runners, keep a small percentage of your lot size. If you have 0.10 trading, you book 0.08 and you leave the 0.02 on that case. Okay, but don't get hold at it to don't book profit, because we don't have 200, 300, 400 pips all the time. That is my main point here. Book the profits. Hey, Lokan.
Hey guys, I'm back with you. Never get a company in to do 4 bathrooms at the same time. They move in, they never leave. We're week 3 now. We're still on the first one, so be interesting.
Oh.
So Mateus, is it me or we haven't had a signal yet? Obviously not
Yeah.
the right moment, and they are like buses, aren't they?
I had some.
Sorry?
I had some signals.
Oh yeah, on your system?
Yeah, on the new system.
Yeah, good. Well, look, the thing is this, and by the way, guys, we don't. Hey Yomi, how you doing? Thanks for saying hello. Hope you're enjoying it. How are you finding things? And let us know where you're joining from. It'd be really nice to see where people are from, because we've had people contact us from Kenya, from Australia. That's just in the first 3 weeks of being live, right? So it's interesting in terms of what's going on. So yeah, what I was going to say was have a bit of patience, because it's like new toys. You think, oh my god, we want this. It's never quite as good as what's sold to you. So we test this stuff out before it comes, and before we let you guys loose on it, right? And because, like I said, there's loads and loads of things that we're offered. The machine learning signals are really something that's very, very interesting, because about 70 to 80% of trading now is done with algos rather than traders. And so to have to be able to go into a system that's generated, I think takes something like 52 million data points. There's one part of it now that's being developed out, which will track every single trade that's taken. So there's lots and lots of information in the background to make this thing work. Then, of course, our own signals have been absolutely fantastic. It's second to none. I think we've got the best trader that there is for signals. Very, very profitable. And, the proof of the pudding is somebody like Colwant coming relatively new. She doubled her account in 6 weeks. Then had a family emergency where she'd got some trades open and blew her account because she just couldn't look at it. And she'll tell you that herself when she's here. So she forgot to set the TPs and all the rest of it. But you know what? So hey ho. And as she says, within an hour, she had funded her account again because she knew that it was just a technical problem. Then last week, one of our new traders made a rookie mistake, put a lot size in that was far too big. Just a mistake. I've done it before, instead of putting a 1 lot size in, I didn't have my specs on, but a 10 lot size in. It cost me about £5,000. Could have made it as well, but that's not what it's all about. We trade with discipline. So I think he ended up with about 5% loss out of that trade very quickly. But these are mistakes that can be made, and especially when you're new, right? So trading isn't for the faint-hearted, but at the same time, it's very, very rewarding when it happens. So Mateus, you don't have to wait for a signal, right?
No, I keep pressing refresh, and if it's on the parameters, I go for it.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. That's the main thing. And then, of course, you keep protecting your capital. Even if I'm doing that, using that, I'm putting stop loss. And be mindful with the lot size as well.
By the way, guys, when I'm looking down, I'm actually doing messages and bits and bobs to people that are reaching out. So I'm not ignoring you at all. Multitasking.
And today we can listen your builders. Today can.
Sorry?
Today we are listening to your builders. Today they are making noise.
I'm going to put these in, just see if that gets any easier.
Yeah. I put some noise cancellation, but it's still, as you can see, we are live, guys, and it's a real.
Is that better?
Live. Let's see. Yeah.
You should hear less, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Lovely.
Prepare to buy.
Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So those of you that are not with us, in terms of you're not trading with us on the Telegram group. So first of all, what happens is we get a pre-warning that a signal's coming. So it's probably been typed out right now, which tells you whether to buy or sell. There it goes. So we immediately get a situation whereby we've got a range, which is between 53 and 48. So let me just check, are we in range? We're at 52. So yeah, we're in range. So between 48 and 53, TP1 56, TP2 60, TP3 65. If you're new, go for TP1s, right? If you haven't got experience, you're relatively new, the idea is not to make money, it's to learn how to take these trade ideas and walk through them. So I will walk you through this trade as it unfolds and where the market goes. SL must set that 45, 47, right? So you must set that even before TP, set your stop loss. So my automated tool entered me into that trade at 53.65. So not quite the entry in the range, but that's what happens. We're not too worried about that. Then we've got some buy limit set at 52, 51. So it's just triggered my second one. So I tend only to take 3 trades, so I'm going to delete the others.
As you can see, that is the range between 53 and 48, and the stop loss at 47. Always put the stop loss.
Yeah. So my 3 of them are triggered at 47. Sorry, at 53, 52, 51. So TP set, stop loss is set. And then you can't really get harmed. So this is the mechanical part of trading. That we're not having to worry about the trade. We've done the number of trades we wanted. We've set the stop loss. We've set the TP. Now it's just a case of managing it. So you watch the trade, see what it's doing, see what the market's doing, have it on the minute candle.
And remember, stop loss is there to protect you. You don't need to be scared of stop loss. If you're not like over trading, over leverage your account, that's completely fine. And
Right,
that's
hit stop
coming
loss
for
there.
stop loss. Yeah.
Yeah, hit stop loss.
As you can see, that's
Yeah,
real
60 pips.
60
Yeah.
pips. Stop loss.
That's what it's there for. Right. There should be an opportunity. Yeah, prepare for a buy. I was going to say there should be an opportunity here now. There you go. It's back again, right? So we don't ponder, we don't worry, make it mechanical.
Yeah. You just go for the next one. And the entry points is between 45, 46, 44, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Stop loss at 39. As you can see, we're still looking for a buy, and that is the range.
The maximum layers that I take is 3.
Yeah, you don't need to place a lot of layerings. I think so, especially if you're a beginner, 1 or 2 is the way to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get confident with the signal, you can do 3, but that's it. You don't need to place 4, 5, 6 layerings. And if you place the trade, make sure you put stop loss, make sure you set up your TPs if you want to, set that before. But they stop loss for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Still on the range to buy. And the way to do that is the mechanical approach, guys. Like we said before, if you're doing that over and over and over and approach the same time, the same way, that is the way to do it.
Yeah, I'll mute myself where possible if there's a bit more too much noise. We don't need to be hearing that. So my second buy has triggered now. So we're hoping that this will come all the way up now and hit TP. Both trades are in profit. Third buy limit hasn't hit. Market came up.
TP1 at 49. We're nearly there. Let's see.
Okay. 30 pips hit.
Risk free at 45.45. That means we move a stop loss to that point, 45.45. And you can book some profits if you want as well. New signal.
So these are buy limits, guys. It's not a straightforward thing. So you go into your MT405, got the top where it says market execution. You'll get something called buy limits, and then you place your trades accordingly. You have a lot more time to do these trades.
Yeah.
Don't have to do them all, or you can. It's up to you. So if you're in the Telegram group, it'll be telling you that first entry can be at any level of 45.45. Trade at your own risk. So our traders are out of the office for 45 minutes. So we've got 45 minutes to do whatever we like, right? Let's make some money on these trades. So got a really interesting setup in terms of all the way down to 39 you can enter. So TP1 48, TP2 52, 57. But you can put these trades in. As I said, you can set buy limits. So it's something that we don't use very often, but it's a very interesting tool to use for trading.
As you can see, last signal I put on the update, risk free at 45.45. If you need to stop that trade there, it's okay, because then you will have the probability to go to the next one with your full stack, and is protecting your capital is the key as well, because we had plenty of TPs on the morning already. Those last ones was not the best, but it's part of the game. We cannot win all the time. As you can see, that is coming down. We'll reach a break even. And then you just wait for the range for the next one.
I've just got one trade open now. So I'll close the last one just above break even. This market appears to be reversing from what it's been doing during the day.
Yeah.
So let's see where we are.
Getting on the range for the buy limits, but you can be patient as well and just wait a little bit if you want to. Let me see.
Yeah, we're not going to have any signals after this. So after you close this trade out, it's coming up to 9 o'clock. I'm going to grab myself a cup of coffee. If you guys want to do the same, I'll come back. We'll talk about compounding, and I'll show you the compound calculator. When we come back, we'll have 15-20 minutes on that, and we'll get to that. Yeah, Martin Pold is back. He's holding a free online event in December, right? Apparently, we're well welcome to join. Martin, get your own fucking audience, right? Stop doing this in mine. Idiot. What is it with people? Right. Adam's going to join you guys, so I will sign off for about 5 minutes, then we'll talk about compounding. I'll have a chat with Adam and see how he's getting on.
Perfect. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Matthias. How are you?
Great, thank you. And you?
Not so bad. It would be better if the first trade I didn't take was stop loss one.
Okay.
Just my luck. Jump on, take 2 trades, and both of them hit stop loss. So yeah, not great, but
you didn't move the stop loss to break even on the last one. Which one you hit stop
not
loss?
the last. So the one before that hit stop loss, I went in. I laid in twice, and both hit stop loss. I laid in twice on the second one, the last one that just came through, and that's what I was going to ask a question about, the terminology. So the one that came in that was a buy for 4546 to 4540.
Yeah.
The second update was risk-free at 45.45.
Yeah.
And then close at 45.46. So does that mean he's out of that position now and there won't be any more updates on that? It was like a get out comment.
Yeah. If when you have risk-free, like I say to you, you have 2 options. Move your stop loss to that point.
Yeah.
If you are positive, just close the profits.
Yeah, I wasn't. So I only got in at 45.46. I didn't even manage to get in at 45.45. So for me, there was obviously there's no risk free at 45.45, and but
from 45.45, if you close, if you put your stop loss there, that means you'll be at 10 pips. Of your entry point, isn't it?
Yes.
Stop loss.
Yeah.
It's like I said last week. Always when we have risk free, move your stop loss no matter what on that point. Even if you lose 10 pips or 20 pips, it's better lose that than go all the way to the real stop loss. You know?
Yeah.
Because the real stop loss on that trade was 39.
Was 39, yeah. Yeah.
Do you prefer be stopped at 39 or 46, 45 on that case?
Yeah, I think it's just me remembering the terminology because it's I should have made some notes last week actually. So yeah.
No. Let's keep talking about that because then everyone will learn it. It's good to have the same questions, and sometimes you have the same questions 100 times until you get to it, but doesn't matter. You know, it's not like don't blame yourself. That is good because someone will have the same questions and they will not ask. And now we are teaching them how that means risk free. Sure.
Yeah. So when it's risk free, it means pull your stop loss up to from whatever it was to the new risk free level.
Yeah, because that's what the risk free will be your new stop loss.
You're right. Okay. Yeah.
And for the trader, could be break even because he has the best entry.
Yes.
But for most of us, will be. I can guarantee for you, will be not that.
Yeah. That's why I was getting a bit confused. I was like, why doesn't he just say move your stop loss to 45.45? But obviously,
he's break even.
Yeah, I just need to remember that when he says risk free, it means move your stop loss. And
You
then
see, the same questions Petra had that on her head, and now she knows what that means.
yes, and then the other thing. So where he's put risk free at 45.45, and then he's put 46.45, 46 close. Does that mean he's closed
That
all his
means-
positions and he's out of that trade now?
No, he's still maybe he booked some profits on there, but the stop loss he moved to 45.45,
Right.
and then
So what
like
does the close
I
comment
said,
mean then?
my point of view is, if you are positive when he is moving the stop loss to break even, just book some profits and move your stop loss to break even.
Hmm.
I was on that trade, I was holding that and just came to break even on my case, because I didn't book any profit. I was not in profit yet, and came to 45.45. Absolutely fine. Now on the last one, the buy limits, I have one entry only on 43.50 for now, and I'm positive now, 46, nearly TP. If it keeps pushing for TP1, I will book some profits, because we don't have updates on that trade. He's not
Yes.
on the office,
Yeah. he's
and
gone
I
out.
just book some profits. Make it simple, and of course, one thing you do one time, keep doing that all over, because then the mechanical approach will be there for you all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
And I keep repeating myself. I know it's boring sometimes,
No,
That's-
not at all.
but I know
repetition, it gets
will
in.
help someone.
Yeah. I'm also still sitting in one at 45.49, which is obviously down a little bit at the moment.
You have one entry on that point.
Yeah, 45.49 and a 45.46. So the 6 is now in a little bit of profit.
Okay,
Uh,
but that is the previous signal, isn't it?
yes, one of them from
Okay.
the previous signal. Yeah, because I didn't. I was just setting the stop loss limits when it blasted through it.
It's like I said, guys, everyone will trade differently, and the signals are the same, but everyone will trade differently. If you want to hold signals like Adam is holding now, it's completely fine. If you want to have your stop loss 10 pips more or take profits 10 pips more, but if you do that, you need to do that all the time. Like that trade is on GP1 now, on the last signal. I'm moving my stop loss to break even and hold that trade to 52 and book some profits as well, because if it retraces, I'm out at break even, my break even at 43.50, like I say to you. But that's it. I'm not putting my account in danger. It's protecting your capital is the key. Okay? And if you keep doing that over and over and over, it's easy for you to remember your strategy. That is my strategy, by the way. I book some profits, move stop loss to break even, and look for TP2, TP3, and that's it. Some people has different approach. They will entry 3 points, 3 entries on the layering, and they will keep TP1 for one, TP2 for another one, or they will close when you are in profit in the worst entries. They will keep the best entry and close the others. You have some videos to check those things, but if you want to ask, I don't know my strategy yet, I don't know how to do it, we are here to support you. That's the lives for, is for you to find your way and try to find your way to understand the signal and try to find your way to copy the signal as well. Look, that went to TP2 or not? Is reaching TP2? Nearly TP2. That's another thing I want to talk to you. Sometimes can be 5-10 pips away from TP1 or TP2. The trader will update that as a TP. That is a clue for you as well to book some profits. Even if it's not on the TP on your broker or your spreads, is a clue for you to book your profits as well. We had those questions last week as well, Adam, about booking your profits, even if it's not on TP yet.
Yep.
And if the trader is updating TP1, TP2, just be mindful, book some profits as well. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
We nearly
Just
reached
getting ready.
TP2 on the last signal. It's pushing back.
Brilliant.
Again. Let's see.
Okay, we're still in that trade.
I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, Cam, but your audio is proportionally louder than Mateus's.
That's good. I'm louder than Mateus.
You're definitely drowning him out, that's for sure.
Does it change now?
Keep talking.
Yep. How's this now?
Yes, that's a bit lower now. Yeah, that's better. It was really loud.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Probably because I'm partially deaf at this moment in time, Adam. I had to go and have my ear syringe because it was like totally blocked. So I've still got to. I went back on Saturday for the second appointment, and unfortunately, the well, I don't know what the hell you call them. He was had a family emergency, so I'm going to go back after this session today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to. Shall we wait until this trade's done before we do talk about compounding, Mateus?
Yeah, but let's wait for another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because that can potentially push up. Let's see.
Yeah.
And book some profits, guys. If you're copying that trade, really reach TP2, and then you have 6 to 52. You can put profit there. Don't leave the money on the table. Because as you can see, it could be a retracement. And if you want to have those runners like you see on the group, the runners, if you're a beginner, I don't recommend you to do that. Just book the profits, keep it simple. But if you have a big lot size and you can do that, then just leave a tiny portion of it to go to runners. Don't overthink about it. But make it simple is the key. Booking profits is the key.
Interesting thing happened whilst I was away, Mateus. Got the profit of the day, 50 pips on that last trade.
Oh, that's
But
great.
everything was set. The TP was set. You know, went downstairs to have a chat with the builders. Said, "Should we have a cup of tea?" Yep, lovely. And come back to the most profitable trade of the day so far. So if you have the discipline and follow it through, and then of that. So I had 3 trades in when we hit that stop loss for the first trade. So I've recovered about 40% of that loss. Not that I have a revenge trade. I don't care what happens because I know that it's how far we're up at the end of the month that matters, not even the day. I don't even care about the days anymore. But it's interesting that following the process, immediately that we hit a stop loss, we make a profit, and we do that. So I've got a question. If the trade goes back to the entry, can you enter late? Mateus, I'm going to let you do that one. That's Petra.
Yeah, I put there. I was reading that as well.
Oh, you've answered that, have you?
No, not yet. And Petra, you can do that if you didn't reach TP2 and stop loss. The trading is still valid. But the only thing is how many times you want to do that, because some people, they keep telling me, "Oh, I reached stop loss, but we are already on TP1, nearly TP2. On that case, we are already on TP2. I will not take that trade again. That can go to TP3, TP4, TP5, but if I booked some profits on that trade already, I will not keep a re-entry. But that is the way I do, because we didn't reach TP2 officially on that trade yet. That means it's still valid, the range. But that doesn't mean I need to keep jumping on the trade all the time. If I jump on that trade again, I will wait for a better entry. I will wait for that to go to 30, 39 or 40, 41, a very good range. Because then if I put the stop loss, I will be like very protect, close to the stop loss, for you to understand. Because if you keep chasing the markets, of course the signal is still valid, but if you keep chasing, probability is you will burn yourself. You will go to more stop loss than profits, and then it's a habit that you need to get it. If you book some profits on that trade already, just be patient, wait for the next signal, or wait for a very good entry, because that is the range. As you can see, it's going to TP1 again, could be potentially go to TP2, TP3, but the range was risk. And if I booked some profits, I will not do that again. I will not go to that trade again. But then it's up to you. As much as you do the signal, you will understand the signal and you will be more confident to do that or not. Okay, I hope that helps.
That's lovely. Great explanation there, Matthias, and it works well. And thank you, by the way. Ask away, ask the questions, and if you want to come on like Adam has, just message us from wherever you are. Message us directly. We'll get you on. We have up to 10 slots that we can utilize for you to come on live, and it's always nice to get to know you a little bit better, and then you can get you to ask your questions directly. And no question is invalid because other people are probably just thinking about it. There goes the market now to 52. That will give us only TP3.
Let's break the ice.
So I'm already out of that trade. I completely don't have anything running. Okay, so we've got a TP of 57, which is 3, right?
Yeah, that will be TP3.
Yeah, that'll be TP3. We'll keep an eye out on that. So we'll do a little bit on compounding.
Just one question, Cam, before we move on. So the next TP after TP3 says TP open. Can you explain what that means?
And generally tends to, so he's got some runners in that all the way up to 57. So you might want to get into a trade and have that as a runner and leave it at your discretion as to where you take it. So if you look at the messages, so there's a message at 7:37. I'm securing partial profits. SL set to be at blah blah blah, and then I will target 45.50, 46.50, 45.70, 45. Sorry, all 45s, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 5,700. So if you ever wanted to leave your runner open to any of those levels, you could do.
Right. Okay. Fine.
That is the runner.
I've been seeing that 5,700 level, and I was like, "Is that a typo? Doesn't he mean 4,700? 4,700?" But okay, that's a lofty goal.
You'll see a post up at some point, which is like 3 gazillion pips hit.
Okay, so he's almost layered out of those trades. If you've got a reasonable lot size that you can take partials on, he's layering out at different levels and then leaving a small lot size to just run forever.
Yeah. So say for instance you had an account which was, I don't know, maybe 50k or 100k, right? And you were using a lot size of 3 or 4 or whatever it was, and then you put a lot size of 0.5 on, and it's a bit of fun in a way as well, because I sometimes do it. I put a 0.01 on. I had an account, I had a thing the other day, it was like went up to about £700 profit. I didn't take it like an idiot, right? But then it started coming down. Still took £100 out of it, but it is what it is. It's a bit of a laugh in a way. So, and you can make some serious money, but I'd recommend that we be day traders and do what we're doing, especially with what's going on geopolitically at this moment in time. But there is somebody, Mark, who may come on when he's ready. He has runners. I think Mateus has them sometimes, don't you, Mateus?
I leave a very small percentage. Sometimes I have 0.02, 0.01, or 0.03 to go for runners. But like I said, is when I have a very good entries, I will do that. Then I will keep that for 100, 200, 300 pips. But like I said, we don't always go to 300, 400 pips. It's better book your profits, especially on TP3. TP3 is around 100, 150 pips. Is more than enough for you to make your profits on the day. Especially if you're a beginner. Stick with the simple, and then don't overcomplicate. Even when you're not beginner, make that simple. And if you have capital to let the runners do the hard work for you, it's okay. But then don't get attached. I have a small runner now. 43.50 is my entry. I have my stop loss or entry point, and I have a 0.02 as a runner. If it comes back to 43.50, I don't care. I don't have the emotion. I'm leaving that to do the hard work. If it doesn't do the hard work, I'm completely fine. Don't let the emotions change your strategy. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Did you say 43.50? So like 200 pips away from where we are now?
Well, 45.30. I'm sorry. I'm
right,
mixing
okay.
the. Let me double check. Yeah, 45.30.
Fair enough. Okay.
But yeah, numbers all over my head all the time. Sometimes I'm not dyslexic, by the way. If I'm making those mistakes, correct me straight away.
Yeah, no, and same. We speak about a lot of numbers all day long, and we're always firing numbers at each other. So yeah, call each other out on if we get it wrong, because it can be confusing if you don't.
It is, yeah. And sometimes even on the signal, we have some software to send the signals, because it's impossible for a human being to do those things. But sometimes can be with some mistakes. But then you just try to interpret where is the entry point, where is the stop loss. You can, when you copy the signals all the time, you can judge that by yourself as well and do the right thing. Let's see. Do you want to do the compounds now, Cam?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna add that to the stage, if I may. Okay, so
I'm
going to talk about compounding. If you've got any questions, please, by all means, come along. I'm going to start this. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Mateus? Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to start with £1,000, and a typical target is somewhere between 1 and 3% on our day. So I'm going to do 2%. And then I'm going to compound that over the next 12 months. Okay, so we're going to make 2% a day on our £1,000. We're going to compound it daily over the year. And now, if you don't know how to set this up, give me a shout, because I'll be able to help you with it and how to use this. So we're not going to trade all days of the week. Unfortunately, it's not as clever as we'd like it to be, because it doesn't count bank holidays and things like that. It doesn't know that. And we're not going to put any more money in. We're going to start trading today. So I hope all that's clear. I'm just going to recap that for you. So you've got £1,000 in your account. You're going to make 2% on a daily basis. You're going to compound that 2% every day. And I'll go through that with you. I'm going to look at it, see what happens over the year. Now, before we all get excited and everything else, you would get about £40 of interest in a year if you had it in a decent account. Not your current account, but if you put it into a savings account, locked your money away, at the end of the year, you'd have about £1,040. I'm going to say £1,050, just be generous. I don't think there's an interest in this country at the moment that's at 5%, but if it was, that's what you would end up with. So we're going to trade Monday to Friday. You're going to come here at 8 o'clock every day, go away at 10 o'clock, you're going to come back at 1 o'clock, then you're going to do all that kind of stuff. So what would that £1,000 turn into in a year? Shocking? When you first see this, it's unbelievable. There's no wonder that Einstein said that it's the eighth wonder of the world. So business days, 261. There's probably about 240 in reality with bank holidays and things like that. So it's not quite there, but if you only had £150,000, you wouldn't really moan. Your percentage gain is 17,600. So where does it start? So like we were saying, so on the 6th of May, you make £20, which people not really moving the needle. Adam talked about it last week, working all day to make £20. It doesn't really sound like a lot of money, and it isn't a lot of money, right? So what you're going to do is when you use this calculator, you're going to print this off. You're going to screenshot this. And this is now your business plan. Okay. So your target today is to get to £1,020, which is there. And tomorrow it's £1,040 and 40 pence. And then it becomes 81 pence above the 20. So if you screenshot this for a month, you'll know exactly what your business plan is for the next 4 weeks, right? And the reason I'm saying that to you is the best trader I know is my wife. I've been training for 5 years, usually finished in about 30 to 40 minutes, maybe an hour tops every day. She uses this now to chart her progress. So wherever she is, whether she needs to make 300 or 500 pounds a day, whatever it is, she screenshots this now on a monthly basis and keeps it, and that's how she goes, right? And then what happens is, so we were going to go away for 3 weeks, and I said, are you trading whilst you're away? And we were due to come back from the original 3 weeks on the 4th or 5th of April. And she said, I've actually hit my target till the 7th of April. So I said, well, there's no need then for you to even take your laptop with you. And that's exactly what she did. So we came back home on the 5th of April. She had traded till the 7th or 8th, whatever it was. And then on the 7th of April, we flew to Dubai and she took her laptop and traded there. So I've often talked about, if you haven't got some form of guidance, if you haven't got your satellite navigation, if you haven't planned to go to Edinburgh, and how do you know when you're in Edinburgh if you didn't plan to go there? If that wasn't your destination, if you didn't put it on the sat nav, if you didn't fuel your car or charge your car or plan to charge it or fuel it on the way, how on earth A would you get there, and how on earth B would you know when you're there? So this is your plan now on a daily basis. So now on the 19th of May, you're supposed to make £23 and 90 pence, right? A little bit under, a little bit over, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be an exact science. So Saturdays and Sundays are excluded, so we get 2 days off. And then if you look at this now, even on the 15th of June, it's only £34, right? On the 8th of June, which is approximately a month away, you're only making £31, and as Adam was saying, may not be moving the needle for you, and it shouldn't do, right? But if you diligently work on that £1,000, because unless you've got the money, unless you've got 20 grand to throw at this, you're going to have to do this. So you either have the money or you put in the time, right? So, but by August, you're doing £100 a day. That's not bad, right? And your balance is up to £5,000. You've 5x'd your money by the 1st of September, right? Where are you going to get that? You've got to work diligently, you've got to be very careful, and you can't lose discipline. So a year from now, and you see this now, in January, so come the end of the year, 4th of January, you're making £600 a day. You're putting £1,000. Where on earth are you going to achieve this? Tell me that. Tell me who is going to do this for us. Where are you going to achieve these kind of returns, putting in the kind of money that you put in, spending zero marketing, zero on sales, zero on staff, virtually zero on overheads? Tell me that. because I will come and do that business with you if I can make more money. Yeah? So that's where it's at. So I'm going to answer those questions by Martin in a minute. He's thinking now. So Martin, I hope you're watching this. This is making you money, right? So £913 a day, £1,000 a day, right? By February next year. Who doesn't want that? Okay. So any questions on that, I'll take. So Martin's asked me how you either save me money or make me money by trading. Saving money is for idiots and people that work for other people, right? It's dead money that you get 3 to 4% a year on, and it's depreciated by 7 to 10% a year. So inflation is running at about 3 or 4%. There's something called currency debasement, which means that the value of our money is going down because more of it is being printed. So the more they print, they call it quantitative easing. They might have another name for it now, but the more money they print, the less worth it becomes. Supply and demand, right? So unless you're making about 11% a year, you're not even standing still. So I don't believe in saving money. I invest money in businesses and assets, and I spend the rest on myself and my family. So I've invested in this, and I invest every single month. I put another £1,000 into my accounts. So making money by trading is doing what we're doing now, Martin. Come and join us, book an appointment, and reach out to me, and we'll send. Matthias, do you want to put a link on up there for booking appointments?
Yeah, and you can scan the QR code as well.
Yes, of course. There you go.
Yeah.
See, you've got my number there. So give me a shout, scan that code, and it'll take you directly to our page that books you an appointment. It's completely free. We don't charge any money to join. We don't charge any money for membership. The only way we get paid is by you working with one of our partner brokers. We trust you to do that because it's only fair that we get paid for the work that we do. So for the trader, myself, Matthias, we get a small proportion of whatever they charge you. They don't charge you any more. They charge you a commission to do the work. So because we introduce a lot of business to them, they give us a few pennies for every time you trade. And that's how we get paid. And we have to trade ourselves. So I hope I've answered that for you, Martin. And so there you are. Adam, you've always got something interesting to say about stuff. What are your thoughts? What do you think's going through people's minds when they see this compound calculator? Or what's going through your mind? Because last week the comment was from you, which is quite right. Cam, I'm working here all day making 20 quid, right? What's the point of that?
I think you've touched on it already. You either go slow and build it over time if you haven't got the funds to go in larger, at the start. For me, I'm going slow and building my discipline because I probably have got some more money to invest, and it would be great to be earning £200-400 a day. But that's not going to build me the discipline, and it's a big cost then if I get it wrong. So for me, I'm starting slow, build the discipline, build my own strategy, know how many times a day I'm going to trade, what my lot sizes are going to be, what my risk tolerance is. And once I feel I've got the discipline and that's working for me, then I can potentially invest some more, but by then my capital will have grown anyway. So it's that's the way that I'm looking at it.
Brilliant. We did this with you last week, and does that now kind of clarify a few things for you in terms of that by September it's £150 a day, in a year it's 200, and it just goes on and on and on from there. Does that help you to frame it a little bit better and give you a bit more clarity than last week?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So just going to move that. So the thing is, Adam said something really important there. And, I posted this morning about my entrepreneurial journey, where it began when I was 15 years old. I saw an uncle of mine that was very successful, and I kind of stuck to him like a magnet. That immediately appealed to me. He had the nicest car of all my dad's friends and relatives. He was always dressed the best. And he was moving, he's moving nicely in the world. So that really attracted me. He was an intelligent guy. So I kind of stuck to him. And a few months later, when I started paying attention and listening to him, he said, would you like to come and work for me on a Saturday? I was 15 years old. So I was doing like 14, 15-hour days working for him or with him on a Saturday. And but it wasn't the money and it wasn't anything else. It was just be around somebody that knew what they were doing. So whereas my mum and dad is like, get yourself an education, you know, it will help you, just the old script really. And yeah, I'm an intelligent guy. I could have gone and got a degree in anything. So I gave my mum and dad 4 years from 16 to 20. I did an apprenticeship in mechanical engineering. I was the top guy in the place. I won apprentice of the year, won everything that was possible to win. And told my parents I didn't want to do it. And my dad basically said, when you finish this and you can do what you like. And I actually quit the day I finished. As soon as I qualified, I handed my resignation in that day. I had no idea what I was going to do other than be a multimillionaire, right? That's what I wanted as a job. So I went back into education. I got some training. I worked for a company learning how to manage people, manage businesses, etc. And then at 24, I started my own business. So that's where that came from, right? So the article this morning was, or the post this morning was, bigger your dreams, right? And we all have them, especially now, this many years later. You know, everybody's rich and everybody's a multimillionaire on social media, except they're not, right? We all know about the rented cars and the Airbnb houses, and that you should look past that. So at the age of 26, my sister got married, and another uncle, and we had a Mercedes that cost probably the equivalent of about £300,000 today. And he'd just bought that, had 600-700 miles on the clock. And I got to drive it to take my sister to her in-laws' new house. And my uncle went off, the wedding was done. We came back the next day. I went and had the car washed, parked it outside my house, went to my parents' house. My uncle came in his big 4x4 that he also has, as well as this Mercedes, got the keys, jumped in and went off. And that day I decided that I was never going to borrow a car. I was never going to drive anybody else's car. I wanted my own. I did not like the feeling of handing it back. But with all those things, what you got to do is you put the work in the back end, right? So that's the bit that people don't see. And that's what you do in private. Yeah. I'm sure Adam will tell you this. So he built my first website when I started my insurance company about 20 odd years ago. And I used to work from this house. My office was downstairs. I'd be up at 4 o'clock in the morning sending emails to people. And the insurance company guys were like, one of them said, Cam, I send your emails round and just highlight the time that it came. And he said, everybody reckons that you've got the time set wrong on your computer. I said, I'm not capable of setting the wrong time, right? So, but put the work in. And we've made it so easy now. So putting the work in, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, right? Why do we do 10 hours for an employer for 50 grand a year? We can't do 5 hours for ourselves. That's the bit that gets me. So all that other nice stuff comes at the end. Don't get it the wrong way around. Work first, then enjoy, right? Can't enjoy first, then work, because that's credit card debt and it's not the way to be. So, and brings me back to what Adam said. If you trust the process and go through it, it's not about the money, it's about who you become at the end of it. If in a year's time you're making £1,000 a day, right, you'll be a different person. You will not be the person that you are right now. I guarantee you that, just trust me. You will not be that person. I sit here today, I don't worry about anything, right? There's obviously little bits and bobs, but anything big in my life, I had a major problem major thing that could have been a problem last week. I sat down, took me a day or two to work it out. I dealt with it, put it into the process. I still haven't got the answer back. And then we were sat at home and I said, look, this is the worst it can be and we can handle that. Right? So I knew what the worst situation could be, which is what was proposed. I said to change it because of this. Won't go into it now. But I said, this is the worst it can be. We can handle that. And my wife said, yeah, absolutely. Great. Problem dealt with. And that's who you'll become. So the confidence that you get making not just £1,000 a day, £10,000 a day, right? Look there, February, £1,200. Oh, sorry, let me just get this back. £1,600, 15th of March on a day, right? £2,000. Where's the limit? And I'll do it for you just as an academic exercise for those of you still on. So suppose you didn't get to £175,000, you got to £100,000, and you thought, you know what, I want to take 50 grand out of this. And I want to start with £50,000. And I want to see what happens in a year to that 50,000. So you've paid yourself £50,000, which is your salary for the year, right? There you go. Now you're making 20 grand a day, right? Look at it. I've actually met somebody with a 2.7 million pound account. Our trader's got an account. It's about 4 million now. So look at that now. Who will you become on 20 grand a day? So the question this morning was, how big are your dreams? And you can't, you will be able to handle them if you start with £1,000 or £1,500 or £2,000. Right? You can cut the first 3 months out, because if you go back, and I often do this sometimes when I've buggered my accounts up, if you started with 5,000, what have I done something here that not got 2% daily one? Yeah, if you start with £5,000, you're making £100, aren't you, at 2%? And that's a real nice bit of money. And of course, then you chop out the first 3 months of when you're getting to that 5k, because obviously the thing with compounding is like a hockey stick, right? And the money really comes up very, very quickly. So I've just set up a copy trading account with somebody that we're working with now, and hence I started with £1,000. The first month it got to about, I think it grew by about 46%, something like that. It's ridiculous. It was about 2,000 quid. I've got £1,000 credit from the broker, so I ended up with 2,000. So at the end of month one, it was 3k. So month two has just started. So I dropped another 1k into that this month. So now it's 4k. I'm going to drop another 1k into that today or tomorrow. So all of a sudden I'm trading with £5,000. Now that's grown by about 1,600% since it started. I've not been a part of it for the last 2 years. So I came across it in January, started looking at it and invested recently. So now I'm thinking, okay, that's great, because £1,000 invested in that would be about 17 grand today. Right, let me shut that window. We'd be about £17,000 today. 10,000 would be £176,000. So I thought, as soon as I can get to a decent chunk of change quickly, then money can start growing. So if you can put money in to start with, every £100 will actually make a difference to you. So and remember one thing, somebody asked me, I think I said this already, how much shall I put in? It's your business, put in what you like. It's totally up to you. So any questions on that, fire away and I'll be happy to take them. Otherwise, we will wait patiently for some more signals. It's a bit slow this morning, but I suppose coming back off a bank holiday can be a little bit slow.
But it was great on the morning. Early morning was a lot of TPs.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you start very early, 5 o'clock in the morning, you will see some days it's very easy to make your targets before 8 a.m. Some days, not every day.
So TP2 was hit at 8 pips.
Does the trader keep any stats on which time periods of the day are more profitable than others, or not some more profitable, but maybe hit signals, hit TPs quicker? Is there anything like that?
Every day is
All
different.
I can say is, Adam, there can't be any stats, because what happens is sometimes London doesn't do anything, sometimes New York doesn't do anything, sometimes in an hour it's all done. There will be some form of stats in the sense that somebody will have done them, but in my 5 years of experience, I think it's a total waste of time. Some days you could just smash it out in half an hour, other days you just sit around doing nothing. If you look at the chart now,
the only reason I was asking is, like on a time priority aspect, if we're more likely to hit TPs between 5 and 8 in the morning, I could prioritize getting up earlier and spending the time there rather than later in the day. But
we like the morning session. Mateus and I and Kulwant and a lot of people I know, we really like the morning session from 5 o'clock. I don't know whether it's because it's quiet in the house or you've just got up. We quite like trading that. I missed it today because, as I was saying, I'm trying to get a new routine where I actually stretch out and I do a bit of exercise instead of walking straight into my office going, right, well, let's have a look at a trade, right? So I went downstairs, spent a couple of hours downstairs instead, and just looking after my health. But I definitely missed it. So interesting. Got a question. What percentage is the max drawdown daily should allow for? That's Petra. It's really your thing. So if your gains, this is what I would do. So if I'm looking to gain 3% on a day, then I really don't want my losses or drawdown to be more than about 3% if I finish, because all I've done then is lost that day. So we at home talk about this quite a lot. So my partner is a full-time gold trader, and she doesn't do any of what we're doing. She actually knows how to trade, learned it over 5 years, spent thousands and lost tens of thousands of pounds. So I don't advise anybody does it. And it takes a certain kind of personality to actually do it. And of course, as she will say, if she sometimes she'll walk in, is that she actually had the luxury that she didn't have to earn any money in order to trade, right? So there was no income at that point. So what she'll do is if she hits on a trade and it's sod's law that it's the one that you forgot to put your stop loss on, or it's the one that you thought was going to do absolutely brilliantly, or it wasn't going to go down. So what she'll do is she'll say, right, okay, I'm going to take the hit on this. I'm a day behind, or I'm 2 days behind on my trading. So if you think about it that way, that a setback, if it's a day or two, it's easy to recover. If it's a month, then you've got another month that you've got to trade to get your money back. And then in that month, you could hit a stop loss, or again, you could hit some losses. So personally speaking, I would allow no more than a day or two of drawdown. So if you hit, like this morning, we hit drawdown, it's very easy to recover. Hit it towards the end of the day, it's a different story. And then we actually have a track to run on. So if you're trading on your own, it's a completely different kettle of fish. So our traders hit stop loss, we've hit stop loss. Yesterday, if you look, we had about 90% success rate. And sometimes that stop loss is hit first and sometimes it hits last. I think Adam talks about when at the end of the day that he's had 10 trades and 8 of them being successful, that kind of number Adam's achieving. And it's really wonderful that last week was his first week, still did 11% on the week, which is that 2% a day, right? So that's where we kind of are. That's where I would be. It's very, very individual, and it's very difficult for me to advise because everybody's risk tolerance is very different. But you know what? It hurts when you lose money. So yeah, hit stop loss this morning. We lost £10, £20, £200, whatever it was. I made about a third of it back on that last trade. So you should have made profit on the last one. And then what I was going to read was that and it's a bit out of date now, so don't do anything now. I want everyone holding for at least 200 pips on this one. Market committing. Let's make back what we lost in the SL. So you see, we actually have a trader that's conscious of what's going on, and he is very. I know him personally, and it hits him harder than anybody else in terms of when we hit a stop loss. Not money wise for him, but A, his expertise, and B, he knows that, you know, we've all lost a little bit of money. Although we've never had a losing day, and certainly not a losing week. So he'll be doing everything in his power to try and get us back to where we are, right? So we're all in this together. We're all trading by ourselves. The money you make is nothing to do with me. Adam's money is nothing to do with me, and my money is nothing to do with him, right? But we're all in this together. Petra, I hope that answers that. It'd be lovely to know if you found some value in that. And generally, you know, what do you guys think about what we're doing here? And can we do better? What can we learn? And what can we improve, right? So just before we came on, my image was upside down again, right? Which was the problem we had last week. So suddenly, right, I'm here at 1:45 and I'm like upside down, which was like, thanks, Petra, you're very welcome. And so I think, Matthias, this damn thing's doing this again, right? And then it turned itself off, didn't it? I went off, and I just decided that we were going to lose power. So we're still learning how to overcome these things. So luckily now I have a backup camera. So if my camera decides to go, we've got one, right? So little things like that we're learning. And so what is it that, you know, you want from us? What is it that you want? These are your sessions, nothing to do with us. We just sit here yabbering away. Matthias and I used to meet up every day anyway. Now we just don't have to go anywhere. We can meet up in the comfort of our own homes. So we would be doing this anyway. So now that you guys get us to watch how stupid we really are, it's just a bonus for you, for us or you. Okay. So yeah, we're having a really quiet session this morning. If you've just joined us, we've had a lot of action first thing before we came on. And as Adam was asking about, you know, when's the best time to trade? There are slow and fast times like there are in every business. So no 2 days are the same. I mean, that's what keeps it interesting. And that's what keeps it, you know, from being far from boring. Just going to show you, we'll remove that. Let me add my, oh, that's Matthias's screen. Let me just add mine because I just wanted to share something with you.
Before we wrap up at 10, I've got a question about layering whenever we've got a second, Cam.
Okay, no problem. I was just going to very quickly do this in that. See, that's on the minute. The market really hasn't done anything this morning from, you know, about 9 o'clock onwards. It's very, very flat, not a lot of movement. We'll see what happens later on. And sometimes I'll walk away thinking nothing, it's not really doing anything. Of course, sod's law, as soon as you do, it fires up. But yeah, you know, there's not a lot of news, not a lot of going on. It's post-bank holiday. If traders had a day off yesterday, they may be take an extra day off, etc. There may be not a lot of volume. So all sorts of things there. Yeah, fire away.
So Adam? I was rewatching the layering videos over the weekend and understanding about going into a position twice. You know, once as soon as the signal is submitted, and then a second one at a better price if price pulls back, and then obviously getting out of the first one as soon as it's break even, and having, you know, you're more in profit with the second trade. What's the advice if you get in at, you know, when the first signal is issued and the price doesn't draw back and you don't manage to get a second trade? What's the general advice about only having one position in a signal, or is there any?
Okay, so I generally watch the market. So I press the button as soon as you say prepare for a buy. I generally press the button if I'm on it, right? So that TP1 is usually hit 90% of the time. You might get a little bit less than TP1 because your entry point isn't as low as, it can be in the range. So I then start studying. If that trade goes to profit and I decide to take it and it comes back, I'll take the trade again. And if the market starts coming back, then I'll take the second and the third trade. 3 trades are my limit. After that, I don't, because I've split my lot size into 3. And so I don't want to expose my account to any more than that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And in terms of the market bouncing in and around the entry point, really the best guide for you is experience of the market and knowing and thinking, right, it's going to go this way and that way. So as long as it's within the range, you could take the trade. As long as you put your stop loss on, you'll be fine. Obviously, every trade you take, the stop loss amount will get bigger, and that's what will happen. But other than that, there's no hard and fast rule as to how many you take and when you enter. As long as it's within range, you can enter. The trade is still valid unless it's hit stop loss or TP2.
Right. Okay. And do you ever only go in once, or do you always try to go in multiple times on each signal when you're around and trading? That is obviously.
I'll do 2, maybe 3.
Okay. Matthias, what's your strategy? What's your style?
So just before Matthias comes in, just one point. The reason is because I've split my lot size into 3. So in terms of gains, I'm only getting a third out of each one. So if I go into 3, I'll get my full percentage, which means I can get to my 2% quicker. So if the opportunity's there, I'll take it. If it's not, I'm okay with that. So safety first. That's why I split my lot size into 3. So if I lose money on that trade, I'm good with that. It doesn't really matter. So just hit TP3 now.
TP3.
Yeah, just hit TP3 now, right? So if you'd held on, so what you could have done is, and this all comes from experience. We can't tell you everything. So if you'd have sat there and got to TP1, move your stop loss to break even. He's just said that. Yeah, hit TP3, 130 dips. So what you could have done is instead of taking the trade, you could have moved your stop loss to break even or to TP1, and you could have benefited from this. I don't know how many times it would have come and hit and you would have been at break even or TP1. I don't know that. It doesn't really matter. But if you'd held on, that's TP3 hit now. And the trade is now, well, it was invalid at TP2. So you shouldn't be entering that trade again once it hits TP2. Sorry, Matthias, over to you.
Yeah, it's a good approach. And if you're watching the videos, you will see the layering strategy for protecting even more your capital. The trader will tell you to eliminate the worst entry and keep only the best entries.
Yes.
Let's say we are on the buy position. You have 2 entries. You enter as soon as he sent the signal, you enter, and then retraces back, and you have another entry on the bottom. That means your best entry on the buy is on the bottom, and the worst entry is the top one. The things you will do, you will keep the 2 entries. As soon as we are positive on the top one, you will eliminate that or wait for TP1 on that. It's up to you. But if you do that all the time.
Yeah.
And then I recommend you to learn how to move stop loss to break even, because if you are out of the trade after you book some profits, it's better be out of it than be on it and don't go to stop loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that you're learning by doing. If you keep doing that over and over, how to move stop loss to break even, booking the profits. I'm keep talking about that because it's the way to make more money on the business. Because if you keep leaving money on the table, waiting for TP3, TP4, then it will be impossible for you to keep making money every day. If you want to make money every day, you need to have a fast approach and go for TPs, booking profits, moving stop loss to break even. And doesn't matter how many entries you have, 1, 2, 3. If you approach that strategy, moving stop loss and booking profits, you'll be absolutely fine. And if you watch the videos, you want to do the same way the trader is doing, like as soon as you're in profit, you just keep your best entry, you can do that as well. But it's completely up to you. You need to decide your strategy and keep doing that over and over.
Sure. The only other thing I was going to ask is that the videos that I watched that you sent me the links to, Mateos,
Yeah.
the quality was quite low. It was like 360, whatever it was, pixels or whatever. And there was a screen that was on the video most of the time with almost like a set of rules, but it was illegible. I couldn't take a screenshot of it and use it. I was going to ask if you have a better quality shot of those rules.
We can try to do a PDF of those rules for you. Yeah.
That would be useful.
Like
We'll improve on that, Adam. I think they're quite old, those videos now.
They are.
Yeah.
They were about 5 or 8 months old or something. But like, I mean, midway through last year, and they were quite low quality. So I didn't know if there was anything, better quality since then.
We'll get them redone.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, until somebody feeds us back, we don't really know. So you're the first person to say that. So great. So now it's a to-do on the to-do list. Right, we've got a 10 o'clock. We're going to onboard some new clients. So we'll see you guys back here at 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining us today. And hope it was enjoyable. We didn't get a lot of action, a lot of signals. We hit SL, but we also made some money as well. So hopefully you're up on the day. The signals will carry on coming between now and 1 o'clock, and you can join us back here. If you want to trade just for these 4 hours, it's more than enough. We should be able to make decent money just, if you want us to talk through this stuff. So give us some feedback, and we'll see you all at 1 o'clock.
See you.
Take care.
Bye for now.